Not Caitlin Clark. Another Iowa star's exit leaves Hannah Stuelka in tears as March Madness dreams crumble. In the ever-evolving world of college basketball, emotions run high, and the stakes are always higher when it comes to the NCAA tournament, commonly known as March Madness. For the University of Iowa, this year's tournament held a particularly bitter taste, one that left not just fans but players themselves in shock, sadness, and disbelief. While much of the national spotlight has rightly focused on Caitlin Clark, Iowa's undeniable star, it was another player, sophomore forward Hannah Stuelka, who was left brokenhearted when the team's championship dreams came to a sudden halt. It wasn't Caitlin Clark's exit that caused the tears to flow in the locker room, nor was it the usual suspects that have dominated the headlines. Instead, it was the loss of a pivotal Iowa teammate, who, although not as universally known as Clark, had become a cornerstone of the Hawkeyes' drive through the tournament. The emotions that ran through the Iowa team were intense and raw, with Stuelka left to face a crushing reality. Her March Madness dreams had been dashed in a way that no one, especially her, had expected. It all started in the opening rounds of the tournament, where Iowa entered as one of the favorites, fueled by Clark's electrifying performance and the overall team cohesion. With the Hawkeyes having been on fire all season, hopes were high, and expectations for success were running rampant. As the team geared up for a deep run, the unspoken promise among the players was clear: they were not only playing for themselves but for each other. Stuelka, a rising star in her own right, was undoubtedly one of the key players with an enormous future ahead of her. But in the midst of it all, an injury to one of Iowa's leading players sent shockwaves through the roster. A pivotal moment in their run, this was no ordinary setback. The injury wasn't just physical, it was a psychological blow that rattled the entire team. Stuelka had formed a unique bond with this teammate, and as they faced this gut-wrenching blow, her personal disappointment mirrored that of the collective team. It was in this moment that the true weight of the situation hit home for Hannah. Her teammate, whose identity we'll keep under wraps out of respect, had been an unsung hero for Iowa, playing a vital role in both offense and defense. Known for her grit and her ability to step up in big moments, she had become a key piece in the puzzle that was Iowa's championship hopes. When she went down, it wasn't just a loss on the court, it was the crumbling of a dream that had been months, if not years, in the making. While Caitlin Clark's game-changing shots and ability to dominate from the arc had been the focal point of Iowa's success, it was moments like these that reminded everyone that basketball is truly a team sport. Without this teammate's defensive prowess and presence in the paint, the team lost an essential element that made them formidable in the tournament. Stuelka, a young player who had been building her own reputation as a force to be reckoned with, felt that loss keenly. Her tears were not just for the heartbreak of losing a teammate but also for the realization that, despite their best efforts, their dreams were slipping away. The emotional weight of the situation hit hardest in the locker room. Players like Stuelka, who had spent countless hours preparing for the big stage, suddenly found themselves questioning everything. What had started as a dream season had turned into a nightmare of uncertainty. Stuelka's tears were not just for the loss of a teammate but for the broader sense of disappointment that engulfed the entire team. There were no easy answers, no words of comfort that could make the pain go away. The future was uncertain, and as the team faced the harsh reality of their situation, they knew they had to carry on, if only for each other. Stuelka, who had started the season as a promising sophomore, had been showing signs of growth and development throughout the year. She had become a standout in Iowa's lineup, with her versatility and skill on both ends of the floor making her a crucial part of the team's success. Her contributions, although not as widely recognized as Clark's, were vital to the team's cohesion and overall performance. As the tournament progressed, her role had only become more significant, and the pressure to deliver on the big stage was mounting. But when her teammate went down, it was like a ripple effect that left everyone shaken. The emotional toll was heavy, and for Stuelka, it felt like her dreams were crumbling just as quickly as they had been built. In the aftermath of the injury, Iowa fans and media alike took to social media, expressing their support for both the injured player and Stuelka. While much of the attention was naturally focused on the injury itself and the effect it would have on Iowa's chances in the tournament, it became clear that Stuelka was struggling with more than just the loss of a teammate. For someone who had put her heart and soul into the season, this setback hit harder than anyone could have anticipated. Her personal dreams, Her hopes of being part of a championship-winning team seemed to have vanished in an instant.